Welcome, and thank you for allowing me to spend a little time with you tonight. However your day has unfolded, and whatever may have been resting on your mind before you pressed play, I hope this can become a place where everything begins to feel just a little lighter. You don't need to leave your thoughts at the door or somehow force yourself to relax before you deserve to rest. You can arrive exactly as you are, because tonight is not about being perfect. It's simply about allowing yourself the kindness of slowing down. As you settle into your bed, allow yourself to become as comfortable as you can, noticing the quiet support beneath you and the gentle feeling of your body beginning to let go of the effort it has carried throughout the day. There is nothing you need to change about this moment. Every comfortable breath arrives naturally. Every slow breath leaves in its own time. And without even trying, your body is already beginning the peaceful transition from the busyness of the day towards the quiet comfort of the night. Sometimes anxiety has a way of convincing us that we must stay alert a little longer. It whispers that there is something we have forgotten, something we should prepare for, or something that still needs our attention before we can finally rest. It can make tomorrow feel much closer than it really is, asking the mind to solve problems that haven't even arrived yet. But tonight, those thoughts no longer need to lead the way. They can simply exist for a while, without asking anything more from you, without changing your breathing. Simply notice how each gentle breath creates a little more space inside your mind. There is no need to chase away your thoughts or silence them by force. Just as clouds slowly drift across the night sky without anyone asking them to move, your thoughts can gently come and go while you remain here, resting quietly beneath them. The more willing you become to let them pass without following each one, the more your mind begins to remember that it doesn't have to stay busy forever. Perhaps today has asked a great deal of you. Perhaps you've carried responsibilities that felt heavy, made decisions that left you feeling uncertain, or spent time worrying about things completely outside your control. Whatever today has been, you have done enough. There is nothing left that needs your attention before sleep is allowed to arrive. Morning will still be there when you wake, bringing with it fresh perspective and new energy. Tonight belongs only to rest. As you continue listening, you may begin to notice that your body feels a little heavier against the mattress, almost as though every comfortable breath is allowing another small layer of tension to quietly melt away. Your shoulders no longer need to hold onto the weight of the day. The muscles around your face can soften. Your hands can rest without effort. Even the smallest muscles around your eyes can begin to loosen, inviting a feeling of comfort that grows a little deeper with every passing moment. There is something wonderfully reassuring about allowing yourself to pause, not because every problem has disappeared, but because you've chosen to give yourself permission to stop carrying them for a little while. The world can continue turning without asking anything more of you tonight. This moment asks only that you breathe, listen, and allow yourself to be cared for as sleep slowly finds its way towards you. So, as the gentle music continues to surround you, allow yourself to settle a little deeper into this quiet moment, knowing there is nowhere else you need to be and nothing more you need to do. Every passing minute is gently carrying you further away from the noise of the day. And and a little closer to the peaceful, comforting sleep that has been waiting patiently for you all along. As your body continues to settle into this quiet space, you may begin to notice that the feeling of slowing down is no longer something you are trying to create. It is simply happening in its own gentle way, almost as though your mind has quietly realized that nothing is asking anything more from you tonight. The day has reached its natural ending, and with every passing moment, you are allowing yourself to become a little more comfortable, a little more peaceful, and a little more willing to let the night take care of you. Anxiety often asks us to live somewhere other than the present moment. It encourages us to step into tomorrow before tomorrow has even arrived, filling our minds with questions that have no answers yet and possibilities that may never come to pass. It speaks with such urgency that it can feel as though we must listen to every word. But tonight there is something far gentler asking for your attention. The quiet rhythm of your breathing, the comforting support beneath you, the peaceful understanding that this moment is already enough. Imagine that every slow breath out is creating just a little more distance between you and the worries that followed you into the evening. They do not need to disappear completely. They simply become a little quieter, as though someone is gently turning down the volume until they fade into the background, leaving behind only the calm awareness that you are here, resting safely in this peaceful moment. Perhaps there are things you wish had gone differently today, words you wish you had said, decisions you have questioned, moments you have replayed more times than you can count. The mind has a remarkable habit of revisiting yesterday while worrying about tomorrow, leaving very little room for the quiet comfort of right now. Yet this moment asks nothing of your past and nothing of your future. It simply invites you to rest exactly where you are, allowing yourself to be enough without changing a single thing. As the gentle music continues to surround you, notice how your body naturally knows what to do. Your breathing finds its own comfortable rhythm without needing your attention. Your heartbeat continues steadily and quietly. The muscles that have worked so hard throughout the day are beginning to soften, one by one, until even the smallest areas of tension start to melt away without effort. There is a quiet wisdom within your body that has always known how to rest. Sometimes it simply needs permission to begin. You may even notice that your thoughts are becoming a little less demanding now. They may still appear from time to time, but they no longer feel quite so urgent. They drift through your awareness with the same gentle ease as clouds moving slowly across an evening sky, never needing to be chased away, because they are already passing on their own. The more you allow them to come and go without holding on to them, the more peaceful your mind naturally becomes. There is nothing you need to solve before sleep arrives. There is nothing you must understand before your body is allowed to rest. Whatever tomorrow brings will be met by a version of you that has been restored by sleep, not by hours of unnecessary worry. Tonight is simply an opportunity to be still, to be comfortable, and to remember that rest is not something you have to earn. It is something you have always deserved. So remain here for a little while longer, breathing gently, listening quietly, and allowing every passing minute to carry you a little further away from the noise of the day. The night is becoming deeper now. Your body is becoming heavier, and without needing to notice exactly when it happens, your peaceful journey towards deep and restful sleep has already begun. As the quiet moments continue to unfold, you may begin to notice that your mind no longer feels quite as eager to hold on to every thought that passes by. They still arrive from time to time, just as they always have. But there is something different about them now. They seem a little further away, a little softer around the edges, almost as though the night itself has wrapped them in a gentle stillness that asks nothing more from you than simply allowing them to drift on. There is a comforting feeling that comes with realizing you don't have to carry everything all at once. Life has a way of placing many different things into our hands throughout the day. Responsibilities, conversations, hopes, disappointments, little worries that quietly gather without us even noticing. We hold on to them because we care, because we want to do our best, because we want tomorrow to be all right. But for now, just for tonight, you are allowed to set them down. They will still be there if they truly need you tomorrow. Right now, they no longer need to rest upon your shoulders. Imagine yourself sitting beside a peaceful lake long after the world has become quiet. The surface of the water is perfectly still, reflecting the moonlight so gently that it almost becomes impossible to tell where the sky ends and the water begins. Every now and then, a tiny ripple appears before fading away once again, leaving the surface calm and undisturbed. Your thoughts can be like those gentle ripples. They appear, they move softly across your awareness, and then, without needing your help, they disappear back into stillness. As you continue listening, notice how natural everything feels. Your breathing continues without effort. Your body knows exactly how to become heavier. Every comfortable breath seems to invite another part of you to soften just a little more. Even your mind is beginning to realize that it no longer needs to stay watchful. It has done enough for one day. It has worked hard, and now it can finally begin to rest alongside the rest of you. There is something wonderfully peaceful about allowing yourself to become completely unhurried. Nothing is waiting for an immediate answer. Nothing needs to be organized before morning arrives. The world has become beautifully quiet, and within that quiet, there is space for your body to recover, your mind to settle, and your heart to feel just a little lighter than it did before. Perhaps you can almost imagine the night gently watching over you, not asking anything from you, not expecting anything from you, but simply surrounding you with a quiet sense of comfort. Like a warm blanket on a cool evening, the stillness of the night seems to wrap itself around you, allowing every breath to become a little slower, every muscle a little softer, every passing minute a little more peaceful than the last. You don't have to know exactly when sleep will arrive. That has never really been your job. Sleep has always known how to find you. Sometimes it simply waits for the mind to stop standing at the doorway, wondering when it will come. And as you continue resting here, listening quietly, breathing gently, you may already be closer to that peaceful place than you realize. So allow yourself to remain here, surrounded by comfort, letting the gentle music carry you wherever it wishes to go. There is no destination you need to reach, and no effort left to make. There is only this quiet evening, this peaceful moment, and the comforting feeling that little by little you are drifting towards the deep, natural sleep that has been patiently waiting for you all along. By now, you may have noticed that the quietness around you feels a little different from when we first began. It isn't that the world has changed. It is simply that your mind has become a little less interested in holding on to everything at once. Thoughts still come and go, just as they always have, but they no longer feel quite so loud. They no longer ask for the same attention. Instead, they pass gently through the background, allowing more and more space for comfort, stillness, and rest. There is something deeply reassuring about knowing that you don't have to stay alert forever. The mind often believes it is helping by remaining watchful, as though staying awake for just a little longer might somehow make tomorrow easier. But tonight, there is nothing that needs protecting, nothing that needs preparing. This quiet moment has already given you everything you need, and with every peaceful breath, your body is gently reminding your mind that it is safe to begin letting go. Imagine yourself wrapped in the gentle stillness of the evening, where everything around you seems to move at an unhurried pace. The air feels calm. The night feels welcoming. Even time itself seems to slow, allowing each comfortable breath to settle a little deeper than the last. There is no pressure here, no expectation, only the comforting feeling that, for these precious moments, the world has become wonderfully quiet. As you continue listening, you may begin to notice that your body feels pleasantly heavy, almost as though the mattress beneath you has become softer with every passing minute. There is nothing you need to do to create this feeling. It arrives naturally, quietly, and without effort. Your shoulders continue to soften. Your arms rest comfortably. Your legs become wonderfully still. Every part of you seems to understand that the work of today has come to an end. Perhaps you can imagine the peaceful night gently unfolding around you, one quiet moment after another. Somewhere beyond your room, the world continues exactly as it always has. Yet none of it asks anything from you now. The evening carries on without needing your attention, leaving you free to simply rest here, surrounded by comfort, warmth, and the quiet rhythm of your own breathing. The beautiful thing about sleep is that it never asks us to force our way towards it. It simply waits with endless patience, arriving gently when the mind no longer feels the need to keep searching for it. And perhaps that is beginning to happen now. Not all at once, not in any dramatic way, just little by little, almost too gently to notice. Your thoughts become lighter, your breathing becomes slower, and your awareness begins to drift further into the peaceful stillness that has been growing ever since we started this journey together. There is nowhere else you need to be tonight, no version of yourself you need to become before you deserve this rest. You have done enough. You have carried enough. And now, without expectation or effort, you are simply allowing yourself to receive the quiet comfort that has been waiting for you all along. So remain here for a little while longer, allowing the gentle music to carry you peacefully through the night, knowing that every passing minute is drawing you a little deeper into comfort, a little further away from the busyness of the day, and a little closer to the deep, natural sleep that is already beginning to welcome you home. The longer you remain here, the more familiar this quiet feeling begins to become. It no longer feels like something you are trying to create. Instead, it feels as though you have simply remembered on something your body has always known. The gentle rhythm of rest has been with you all along, patiently waiting beneath the noise of the day. And now that the world has become quieter, it is free to gently rise to the surface once again. You may notice that your thoughts have become softer now, arriving without the same urgency they once carried. They drift into your awareness for a moment before quietly continuing on their way, never asking to be followed, never asking to be solved. There is a wonderful freedom in allowing them to pass without becoming part of their journey. They come, they go, and you remain here, resting peacefully, becoming more comfortable with every gentle breath. Imagine the calm lake once more, resting beneath the night sky. The moonlight stretches gently across the water, creating a soft path of light that disappears into the distance. The surface remains peaceful, almost perfectly still, disturbed only by the occasional tiny ripple that quickly fades back into silence. There is no effort in the way the water becomes calm again. It simply returns to its natural state, and perhaps your own mind is beginning to do exactly the same. As the gentle music continues to surround you, every comfortable breath seems to carry a little more of the day away. The conversations that once felt important become distant echoes. The small worries that once demanded your attention become lighter than they were before. Even the busiest moments of today begin to lose their sharp edges, blending quietly into the background where they no longer need to hold your attention. There is something deeply comforting about knowing that you don't have to keep holding everything together tonight. The world will continue turning while you rest. Tomorrow will arrive in its own time. The answers you have been searching for do not need to be found before you fall asleep. Sometimes, the kindest thing we can do for ourselves is simply allow the night to hold what we have been carrying, trusting that we can return to it tomorrow with a quieter mind and a gentler heart. Perhaps you are already beginning to notice those peaceful little moments where you almost forget to listen. A few gentle words drift by before your attention quietly melts into the music. Then, without effort, you find yourself listening once again. Those little moments are perfectly natural. There is nothing you need to do to hold on to every sentence. In fact, the less you try to follow each word, the more easily your mind is free to wander towards sleep. So continue resting here, allowing the music to become softer within your awareness, allowing your breathing to remain slow and easy, and allowing yourself to enjoy this beautiful feeling of having nowhere else to be. Every passing minute gently carries you further into comfort, further into stillness, and closer to the peaceful sleep that has been waiting so patiently for you throughout this quiet and gentle night. There comes a quiet moment in the night when everything begins to feel a little further away, not because the world has disappeared, but because your mind has gently stopped reaching towards it. The thoughts that once felt so important have become softer now, almost as though they understand that their work for today has come to an end. They no longer ask for your attention in quite the same way. They simply drift quietly through the distance while you remain here, resting peacefully within this gentle moment. Perhaps you can notice how easy your breathing has become. There is no effort within it, no need to guide it or change it. It rises and falls with a calm, steady rhythm that has always known exactly what to do. Every gentle breath seems to carry a little more comfort through your body, inviting every muscle to soften just a little further until relaxation no longer feels like something happening to individual parts of you, but something surrounding you completely. Imagine the still lake once again, resting beneath the quiet glow of the moon. The water is so calm now that it reflects the night sky almost perfectly, creating a peaceful mirror where everything feels beautifully still. Even the smallest ripple quickly settles, leaving behind nothing but smooth, quiet water stretching into the distance. There is something deeply comforting about knowing that stillness always returns. It may be disturbed from time to time, but it never truly disappears. It simply waits patiently until everything becomes quiet once more. As the music continues its gentle journey around you, it becomes less like something you are listening to and more like something you are simply resting within. The sounds seem to blend with your breathing, with the peaceful rhythm of the night, and with the comforting feeling of being completely supported. There is nothing you need to follow now, nothing you need to remember. The words can come and go just as gently as every peaceful breath, allowing your mind to drift whenever it wishes. If your thoughts wander for a while before returning, that is perfectly natural. If you lose track of what has been said, that is perfectly natural too. In fact, those quiet little moments where your attention slips gently away often become the beginning of peaceful sleep. There is no need to hold on to every sentence. You are free to simply rest, allowing the gentle sounds around you to become part of the quiet background as your awareness grows softer with every passing minute. The night has a beautiful way of reminding us that everything has its own season. There are times for movement, times for effort, times for learning, and times for simply being still. This is one of those quiet moments where nothing is expected from you. The world continues turning without asking anything more, leaving you free to enjoy the simple comfort of breathing, resting, and allowing yourself to drift wherever sleep gently wishes to carry you. So remain here for a little while longer, wrapped in the peaceful stillness of the evening, allowing every comfortable breath to soften your body, every gentle note of music to quiet your thoughts, and every passing minute to carry you a little deeper into the calm, natural sleep that has been waiting so patiently to welcome you throughout this peaceful night. The night has become beautifully quiet now, and perhaps you have begun to notice that there is a peaceful difference between being awake and needing to stay awake. For a little while, your mind may still drift gently between the two, listening to a few familiar words before quietly wandering away again. There is no need to hold on to every thought or every sentence. In fact, the more gently your attention comes and goes, the more naturally your body remembers the peaceful feeling of simply allowing sleep to arrive in its own perfect time. Imagine yourself standing beside that familiar lake once again. Nothing has changed, and somehow that feels comforting. The mountains remain quietly watching over the water. The moon continues to cast its gentle reflection across the still surface. The air feels calm, cool, and wonderfully peaceful. Everything seems to exist exactly as it should, asking nothing from you except that you enjoy this quiet moment for as long as you wish to remain here. There is something deeply reassuring about places that never ask us to be anything other than ourselves. They don't measure our successes or remind us of our mistakes. They don't expect us to have all the answers. They simply welcome us exactly as we are, and perhaps tonight can become one of those places for you. A quiet place you can return to whenever life has felt a little too busy, a little too noisy, or a little too demanding. A place where your breathing becomes slower, your thoughts become softer, and your heart remembers what peace feels like. As the gentle music continues to drift around you, it may begin to feel less like separate notes and more like a quiet blanket of sound surrounding you with warmth and comfort. You no longer need to pay close attention to it. You can simply rest within it, allowing it to carry the spaces between each thought until those spaces become longer, calmer, and more peaceful than before. Perhaps your eyes have become wonderfully heavy now. Perhaps your body feels as though it has settled just a little deeper into the mattress. There is no need to notice exactly how relaxed you have become. Your body has been quietly taking care of that all by itself, one gentle breath at a time. Every peaceful moment has been leading naturally to the next, until relaxation has become something that simply surrounds you without asking for any effort at all. The beautiful thing about this quiet journey is that nothing has needed to happen quickly. Every feeling has arrived in its own time. Every breath has gently guided you a little further towards stillness. And now, as the night continues to unfold around you, there is a quiet sense that everything is exactly as it should be. Nothing has been forgotten. Nothing has been left unfinished. For this moment, your only responsibility is to rest, and that is more than enough. So remain here beside the still water for as long as you wish, allowing the peaceful reflection of the moon to become softer within your imagination, allowing the gentle music to fade further into the background, and allowing yourself to drift wherever this quiet night chooses to carry you. With every passing minute, comfort grows a little deeper. Your breathing becomes a little gentler, and peaceful sleep moves a little closer until it quietly welcomes you into its calm and restful embrace. By now, the quiet comfort of the night may feel wonderfully familiar. There is no longer any need to think about relaxing, because your body has been quietly finding its own peaceful rhythm all along. Every gentle breath has softened something within you. Every passing minute has carried you a little further away from the busy pace of the day, until this quiet moment has become the only place your mind truly wishes to be. Perhaps you have noticed how different the world feels at night. During the day, there are so many voices asking for our attention, so many places to be, so many things to remember. Yet the night asks for none of those things. It simply offers stillness, a chance to pause without explanation, a chance to rest without feeling that anything more needs to be accomplished before sleep is allowed to arrive. As the gentle music continues to surround you, imagine that the peaceful lake has become completely still now. The moon rests quietly above, reflected so perfectly upon the water that it almost seems as though there are two skies, one above you and one below. The air is calm. The trees remain perfectly still. Even the smallest sounds seem to fade into the distance, leaving behind only the comforting feeling of peaceful silence, gently holding everything exactly as it is. You may find that your attention drifts away from my voice for little moments now. And that is more than all right. Those quiet spaces where the words gently fade into the background often become the moments where sleep begins drawing a little closer. There is no need to return immediately. There is no need to remember every sentence. Simply listening whenever you happen to notice my voice is more than enough. The wonderful thing about rest is that it asks so very little from us. It does not ask us to be perfect. It does not ask us to solve every problem before morning arrives. It simply asks us to trust that for these few peaceful hours, we can place everything down and allow ourselves to be cared for by the quietness of the night. Tomorrow will come when it is ready, carrying its own opportunities, its own answers, and its own fresh perspective. Tonight belongs only to peace. Perhaps your breathing has become so gentle now that you hardly notice it at all. It rises quietly, falls quietly, and continues with its own comforting rhythm, asking nothing from you except permission to keep doing what it has always done. Every slow breath seems to carry you a little deeper into comfort, while every gentle breath out allows another small piece of the day to quietly drift away into the distance. As you continue resting here, wrapped in the peaceful sounds around you, allow yourself to enjoy this feeling of having nowhere else to be. There is nothing waiting for you beyond this moment, nothing asking for your attention, nothing asking for your energy. Only this quiet evening, this gentle music, and the comforting feeling of knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. So remain here beside the still water for as long as you wish, allowing the peaceful reflection of the moon to become softer and softer within your imagination, until even that gentle image begins to quietly fade into the comforting darkness of sleep. Every passing minute carries you a little deeper into stillness, a little further into comfort, and a little closer to the peaceful rest that has been patiently waiting for you throughout this beautiful, quiet night. The night has become wonderfully peaceful now, and perhaps there is a gentle feeling that you no longer need to follow every thought that comes and goes. They have become quieter somehow, softer than they once were, like distant sounds carried gently away on the evening air. They may still appear for a little while, but they no longer feel as though they need an answer. They simply pass by, leaving behind more and more room for stillness to gently settle within you. There is something beautifully comforting about allowing yourself to become completely unhurried. So much of the day asks us to keep moving, to keep thinking, to keep planning what comes next. Yet the night asks for none of those things. It simply offers a quiet place where nothing needs to happen before you are allowed to rest. You have already done enough for today. You have already carried enough. Now the night quietly offers to carry the rest. Perhaps the peaceful lake has become almost dreamlike now. The gentle reflection of the moon rests effortlessly upon the water, while the distant mountains remain quietly watching over everything around them. Nothing feels rushed here. Nothing feels uncertain. Everything simply exists with a calm confidence that comes from knowing there is nowhere else to be. As you imagine this peaceful place, allow yourself to become part of its stillness, as though every gentle breath is helping you settle a little deeper into its quiet embrace. The gentle music may now seem to drift in and out of your awareness without asking you to notice it. Sometimes you hear it clearly, and sometimes it seems to disappear completely before quietly returning once again. Your attention may do exactly the same with my voice, and that is perfectly all right. There is no need to hold on to every word. If your mind chooses to wander peacefully for a while, simply allow it to wander. If sleep begins to gently arrive before the end of this journey, then that is exactly as it should be. The comforting thing about sleep is that it has never expected perfection from you. It has never asked you to finish every task or answer every question before it welcomes you. It simply arrives when the mind becomes willing to rest for a while. Not forever, just for tonight. Long enough for your body to recover, for your thoughts to become lighter, and for tomorrow to greet you with a little more softness than today. As you continue resting here, notice how wonderfully effortless everything has become. Your breathing continues quietly without your attention. Your body feels comfortably supported beneath you. Even time itself seems to move more gently now, allowing each peaceful minute to blend softly into the next, without asking you to notice where one moment ends and another begins. So remain here within this peaceful stillness, allowing yourself to drift whenever you wish, knowing there is absolutely nowhere else you need to be. Every gentle note of music, every comfortable breath, and every quiet passing minute is carrying you a little deeper into calm, a little further away from the busyness of the day, and a little closer to the peaceful, natural sleep that has been waiting so patiently to welcome you home. The night feels wonderfully settled now, as though everything around you has quietly found exactly where it belongs. The gentle music continues without asking anything from you, surrounding you with the same peaceful comfort that has carried you through this quiet journey. There is no longer any need to think about relaxing. There is no need to wonder whether sleep is close. Your only invitation now is to remain exactly where you are, allowing each passing moment to unfold in its own gentle way. Perhaps the peaceful lake has slowly disappeared into the darkness now, not because it has gone anywhere, but because the night has become softer still. The moonlight rests gently upon the water. The distant mountains remain quietly watching over the horizon, and everything feels beautifully calm, wrapped in a stillness that seems to stretch far beyond anything your eyes could ever see. It is the kind of quietness that asks for nothing, changes nothing, and simply welcomes you exactly as you are. Your breathing has become so natural now that it almost seems to breathe all by itself. Every gentle breath arrives with perfect timing, and every comfortable breath out carries away another tiny piece of wakefulness, allowing your body to become just a little heavier, just a little more settled, and just a little more willing to drift wherever sleep wishes to take you. There is no effort within any of this. Your body has remembered something it has always known, and now it simply continues that peaceful rhythm without needing your attention. If your thoughts appear from time to time, allow them to feel as light as feathers, drifting quietly through the evening air. There is nothing for you to hold onto, nothing for you to understand. They float gently across your awareness before disappearing into the distance, leaving behind only peaceful spaces where your mind can rest. Those quiet spaces may already feel longer than they once did, gently blending together until even the passing of time becomes difficult to notice. Perhaps there are moments now where my voice seems very close, followed by moments where it feels wonderfully far away. Both are perfectly natural. There is no need to follow every word. You may hear only a sentence before drifting into your own peaceful thoughts, or perhaps only a single phrase before sleep quietly carries you somewhere even softer. However your mind chooses to listen tonight is exactly the right way. The beautiful thing about this quiet moment is that nothing more is expected from you. You have already arrived. You have already slowed down. You have already given yourself this gentle gift of rest. Everything else can simply happen naturally, quietly, and without effort, just as the night has always known how to unfold around you. So continue resting here, surrounded by gentle music, peaceful darkness, and the comforting feeling of having nowhere else to be. Allow each comfortable breath to soften your awareness a little more. Allow every passing minute to gently carry you further into stillness, and allow the peaceful rhythm of the night to quietly guide you towards the deep, natural sleep that has been waiting so patiently for you all along.